Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible and the screen is visible or not? Just confirm in a chat box. Okay, fine. So what we have seen in the last lecture? Anyone? What we have seen in the last PPS lecture? Can anyone tell me? You can write down into the chat box. Okay, basics of computer, fine. Then we have seen the basic block diagram of computer, application of computer, yes. Then we have seen the concept of what? Hardware and software. Yes, types of languages, fine. Then what are the classification of computer, fine. Okay. In software, there are two types, application software and system software, right? And last we have ended the lecture with the what? Types of languages, right? Before that, the last reminder for you is join in a format, right? For example, you are writing your roll number underscore IT and CSC. So right now it's not allowed. It is D3. Your roll number, say 134 underscore D3, right? Neil. You have written still CSC. So join in a format, otherwise you will be marked absent now onwards. Fine. So quickly rename yourself. Just check what is the name of your is showing in participant tab and just rename yourself quickly. It must be roll number underscore D3 underscore your first name and last name, compulsory. Fine. Okay, done. I think still some students have not renamed themselves. Okay, so we have ended it with the what? The types of 239 and 240. The next one is what? We have ended the lecture with the what? Types of language. That means what? The three types of languages are there. We have seen. That is which one? Anyone? Binary language, this is in 0 and 1. Then we have seen assembly language, and then we have seen what? Higher level language. Now computer can understand only the concept of what? The lower level language. That means what? It must be in terms of what? 0 and 1. But now we are learning what? C, right? You are supposed to learn C in this one semester. So what happened in that one? You need to convert that language into what? Machine level, compulsory. And if you are writing program in a assembly language, then also you need to convert that into what? A machine level language, right? So for that, the concept of what? Compiler and interpreter is used. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss what? The concept of compiler and interpreter. Then I have already told you that if you want to implement anything, right? If you want to write a program for anything, then directly we are not going to write the program. But what is the step? First, we are writing some steps which can be understood by us. So that is nothing but what? A algorithm. Okay, some steps we are supposed to write. We will see in detail what is the syntax and all that. Other thing is what? We will represent the same thing within the, we can say, the graph, right? So this is nothing but what? A flow chart. So that we are going to see today: compiler and interpreter, flow chart, and a algorithm. Right? So we will start with the first one, that is what? A compiler. So as I told you, the most task of compiler and interpreter is what? To convert a language. We can say it may be a higher level language or assembler. Then assembly, it will convert into what? This one, right? So this is the task of what? Compiler and interpreter. Now, if your program is written in assembly language, so for that we need to use what? Assembler. So assembler will convert what? Assembly language program into the machine level language. And compiler and interpreter will do what? It will convert the higher level language into the lower level language. So this you can see, it will convert the higher level into machine level, convert the whole program at a time. That means suppose I have written the 100 line of program in Maven, right? I have write what 100 line. So what it will do? The 100 line is supposed to be converted into a machine code, or this is also called as a what? A object code. So you can see here dot O. This is called an extension of a program. Like you are typing anything or you are creating any file in a Word document, right? So dot doc is there. If you are using PowerPoint, then dot ppt is there, right? So same way here, if you are writing a program in C language, so you can see that here dot C is there, right? And if you are converting into machine level, so this is called an object file. So dot O is there. So extension of C program is dot C and object file is dot O. So this is the task of what? Compiler. Now the interpreter will also the same thing, right? What? The program will be converted from higher level language to machine. So the difference is what? Here it will do line by line. The compiler will do what? The whole program it will read and convert the whole program at a time. But what happened? The interpreter will do what? It will read a line by line and convert into the lower level language. Now, suppose I have written a 5-line program, for example, and if there will be an error at third line. If there will be an error at third line, so what happen? It will stop the execution or it will stop the converting. While it will not happen in compiler, compiler that will what? It will convert or it will check all the 5 lines and which line is containing error that will be displayed. So it is not supposed to be stop in between, while the interpreter is stop in between. So that is the main difference you can remember between that. Fine. Now we will see the another difference also. So this is the main one. Another difference are you can see that the translate program one statement at a time. That means what? If any error, then it will stop. Here you can see it translate a whole program. Now what happens when the compiler is supposed to be used? Okay, in C we are going to use what? A compiler. So you can see the last topic. C is an example, C++. That means these languages are used compiler. While JavaScript, Python, Ruby Rail, they are using what? Interpreter. So now what happened in this one? Now main thing is about what? Time. Which will take a more time? What do you think? Either interpreter or a compiler? Who can or who will take a more time? Compiler. Okay. Another one, another answer. Interpreter. Okay. Interpreter, another answer. Fine. Okay. Compiler, interpreter, compiler. Okay, that means you are having a confusion in that one. So what happens? We can say the interpreter will take a more time, right? So you can see that interpreter usually take a less amount of time to analyze the source code. Now, what is the meaning of source code? Whatever the file you are writing, that is .c, so it is called a source code, right? But if we'll see overall execution, that means from starting it to converting into the object code till you will get your output. So the execution time will be more in interpreter and compiler will take a less time as compared to the interpreter. Fine. Maybe if I'll explain, then also you are not able to understand this point. But when we're starting the execution of program, at that time it will be clear to you. Fine. Now, and the another thing is what? About the memory. See, whenever the concept is there in programming, na, two main things are there: time and space. Time and space, that means memory. So here you can see no intermediate code is generated, hence the memory is efficient. That means what? In interpreter, less memory is required as compared to the compiler. Now, what is about intermediate code? That is also somewhat difficult for you to understand. Intermediate code, that means what? it directly not converted into machine code. That means what? If I have written my C program, this is right, and it will be not converted direct into this, okay, in a compiler. But what happened here also, before this object code, here another thing is also supposed to be generated, and that is called intermediate call. That is called what? Intermediate code. So that is also the thing. Fine. Now the another one is what? In interpreter. In interpreter, this is not generated a intermediate code. So you can say that it will take a less memory, while in compiler it will take a more memory. Okay. So 4 point you can remember: one statement at a time, whole code at a time. Interpreter will take a more time, compiler will take a less time. Interpreter will take a less memory, while compiler will take more, and you can remember the examples. Fine. So this is the thing. Now another is what? The concept of flowchart and algorithm. So it's not like that directly I'll write a program either in C or whatever, right? Before that, there is a procedure is what? Initially, I need to represent my problem in terms of what? Either, okay, you can't understand the second difference. See, when okay, that is Veda. When we'll start C programming, right? Just remind me at that time. I'll again explain the second program. When you know some syntax of C program, then I'll take one example and I'll explain that, right? What is intermediate code? Fine. So just remind me at that time. So I'll be explain at that time. That's why I told you that I can't explain you the 2 point, right? Memory and time right now. But for remember, you can do in that way. Okay. Fine. So the another is what? The concept of flowchart. Okay, fine. So concept of flowchart is nothing but what? A graphical representation of your problem. Now what? If you want to represent in terms of what? Graphics, then obviously some symbols are required. If you want to represent that in terms of graphics, then some symbols are required. So what happened? The main advantage is flowchart. Easily it can be understood. If you know just the meaning of what flow chart symbol, then it will be very easy. Now important topic as per the exam also, this symbols you can see, right? So you can see that this symbol oval that will be used for start and stop. So when you are writing or when you are start drawing, the first symbol should be this, and last symbol also must be this one. Okay. Now, if you want to give some input, because whenever we are going to make any problem, at that time, the first thing is require what? The input. And the another thing is what? You want output. So, suppose I want to do the addition of two numbers. Okay. In maths, we are writing what? C equal to A plus B. Simple. So for that, what I required two number A and B. So this is called what? Input. And I want to do sum of that, and I want to store into one variable, that is C. So this is called what? Output. So for that, if you are taking a input, so you need to draw this symbol. And if you are supposed to display that thing, that means sum, so you will take this symbol. Now this is called a processing. Processing, that means what? I need to do what? Addition. I need to do addition. So this is my process. So that will be within this symbol, right? Rectangle. Now condition. That means what? It's not like that my program is supposed to be run in a sequence one, right? Sometimes I need to check condition also, that we have seen in the introductory lecture. That means what? Suppose now there is a rule is what? Who are above 18, they can get what? Vaccine, right? So how? Suppose I need to do the programming in that one. So what I need to check? Whenever any user is supposed to enter his birth date, fine? So I need to check, is is he or she is completed 18 years or not. So this is called what? Condition. If is not completed the 18 years, then what? I need to give him some message that you can't go for vaccine. And if it is right, he or she is having the age 18 or above, so they can take a vaccination, right? So I am having more than one path. So at that time I need to use what? Condition. So see this symbol oval, that will be for start and stop. Now this is what? A flow. Arrow, that will be used to what? A flow, or it will use to describe the flow. This parallelogram, that is used for input output. Rectangle, that means process, and last one is where for condition. Fine. Any doubt in this? Now there are so many symbols are there, but we are not going into that much detail. These are the basic symbols that we are going to learn. Fine. So we'll go for that only. I'll tell you the another most symbol that will maybe you are supposed to use, that is a circle. So this is used for, this is what? The connector. This is called a connector. That means what? If you want to specify a flow of your flow chart within one page, that means suppose I have write some steps here, and now I need to, this is my page, okay? Now I need to jump at this location. So what I'll do, I'll use here one connector and here also connector. And then I'll give some names for say example A, and here also A. So what happened after executing this step, your flow will be transferred here. That means within one page, if you want to transfer the flow, so this circle will be used. So this mainly 5 to 6 symbols we are supposed to use. In many books you will find this also, right? But we are going for that only. Now the another, or we can say, we'll first see the flow algorithm. So algorithm is what? It's a finite sequence of well-defined steps for involving, or sorry, for solving a problem. That means what? Instead of a graphical represent, I'll write in a English like language some step. Okay, so this is nothing but what? A algorithm. Now some of the characteristics of algorithm, that is what? A finite steps, or you can say whatever the steps you are writing, that should be a finite. That means what? Suppose I want to make a tea, as we have seen in the first lecture also, right? So what are the steps that you know generally, right? First I need to switch on the gas, then the water should be boiled, then I need to add milk into that. Fine. So this is what? These are the steps. So I will write those steps in my way. So that is called what? Algorithm. But again, for that some rules are there that we will see. So algorithm must have a what? Finite step. It should be a feasible, language independent. That means what? Mostly we are writing in English like language, so normal user can understand. It should be unambiguous. That means we are not writing statement in such a way that it is having two meaning. Well-defined input and well-defined output. Sometimes the characteristics of algorithm is supposed to be asked in exam. Fine. So this is the algorithm, finite steps of solution, and flowchart, that means graphical representation of any problem. And we have seen this symbols are supposed to be used. Fine. Now we will see this flowchart is for what? You can see that if alarm is supposed to be ring, either you are ready to get up or not. You can see start symbol first, then alarm is supposed to be ring. After that, what? Are you ready to get up? So here it's what? A decision. You can see that here there is a decision. That means there are two output can be possible, yes or no. You may be ready or you are not, right? So if it is yes, so what happened? You are just get up from the bed. Okay, you are just get up from the bed. And if you are not ready, then what? You are going to snooze the alarm. So this is the thing. Fine. Now this average 3 times. That means this depend upon how many times you are going to snooze. After that, what happened? Some delay is there. So you can see here some delay is here. Here also you can use this one, right? This is processing. After that, again, what happened? Alarm ring. So you can see that this will make what? A loop. That means what? The alarm is supposed to be ring 3 times because here it what? Average 3 times. Fine. So this is called what? A statement is supposed to be executed in a loop one. Fine. This is the simple example. Now we will see another one. That means what? To make a tea. So what we are going to do? First is a start. Fill the kettle. You are supposed to boil the water. See, this both are processes. So it should be in a rectangle. After that, the water is boiled or not. There are two possible paths is there. So you can see here I have used what? Decision box. Diamond is called what? A decision box. If it is yes, then make a tea. If it is not, then again what? Heat the water. So this is the process. That means what? By seeing this one, you can easily understand that what is the flow of my problem. Fine. So this is what? A flow chart. Now algorithm what? Same. For same, we'll see the algorithm. So for algorithm, the first step must you have write what? Start. And last step is what? Stop. After that, what you will do? You need to take an out of the steps. That means this is step 1 is what? Start. Step 2 is what? Fill the kettle with water. After that, you are supposed to heat the water. Now you can see that here, I'll show you again the flow chart. This is, you can see heat water, and after that what? You are checking the water is boiled or not. If it is yes, make a tea. If it is no, then repeat the process. Which one? Heat water. So you can see here. Here I have used which word? Repeat. Right? Here you can see that I have used which word? Repeat. So repeat step 3. Which one? Heat the water until the water not boiled. So in this way you can write down in English like language. Step 4 is what? Repeat. After step 5 is what? Make the tea. So, and after that what? Stop. So this is what? This is called a finite step. That means total 6 steps I have used. So that is called what? We can say the algorithm. So just you need to remember start and stop. Then we will see one example how to take a input. That we will see. This is the normal, or we can say the general example. Okay. Now we will see some example which are in your syllabus. That means normally it is supposed to be asked. Now the first is what? Flowchart and algorithm to add a 2 number. You can see to add 2 number. That means I want to do addition of 2 numbers. So that you are doing normally in maths, C equal to A plus B. So whenever any problem is asked, first you need to think about what should be the input. What should be the input to your program? What should be the output of your program? Fine. And what should be the process? This is called what? A process. So input. So what you require? Addition of 2 numbers. So for that you obviously you require what? 2 numbers. Normally we are taking numbers as a what? That is 5 and 6 and that. But instead of that we are giving some name to that. Okay. So always numbers will be identified by name like us. So right now I have given what? Number 1 and number 2. And I have written, you can see in which parallelogram. Why? Because this is the input. And the keyword which will be used, that is input. See, in different book, there will be a different symbols, and the method is the different one. But we will go in this way only. So input number 1 and number 2. After that, what happened? You need to do the addition of that 2 number. So this is called a process. So process is always written in what? Rectangle. So you can see that sum equal to number 1 plus number 2. Sum equal to number 1 plus number 2. So this you can see sum book you will find a assignment statement, and you can use arrow also. Both are valid one. You can go in any way. Now sum is what? A one numbers we have taken, into that we are going to do, or we are going to store the addition of two numbers. Now remember one thing, whatever this name we have taken na, that should be appropriate. That means I'll not take A, B and C. I will take the number or name of the number in such a way that I can easily find out what is the meaning of this. See, I have written what? Sum. So, and what is the meaning of that sum? That means addition of two number. If I want to do the subtraction, then I'll take what? Sub, S-U-B, like that. Okay, after the process is completed, the next thing is what? To display the sum. What is the answer, right? So you can write which keyword here? Display. That means you need to use a word what? Display and the name. Which name? In this, the result is supposed to be there, right? Say you can take a B as an input. Listen, this is not a rule. Okay, Harshit? But you need to take a name of number in such a way that by reading that anyone can understand. Fine. So it is not compulsory, but I told you when we are going for program also, this is the thing, you need to take a name as per the what? The meaning of that. Fine. So this is not a rule. Last one should be what? A stop. Clear? This is what? A flow chart. Now for the same, we'll see what? A algorithm. So algorithm, for that you can see step 1 is a start and step 5 is a stop. Now the second is what? Step 2 is nothing but what? A input number 1 and number 2. Whatever you have written in here, that should be here, you can see. Now, sorry, this is step 2. Fine. Now this is what? Do the addition. So that you can find in step 3. Sum equal to number 1 plus number 2. And fourth one is what? Display sum. So you can write here display sum, and last statement is what? Stop. So this is the flow chart for the addition of two numbers. Fine. The another one is what? To find the area of triangle. So we know that is 1 by 2 BH. So here you can also see I have not taken B and H, but I have taken the whole word, breadth and height, right? For what? Easily understanding. So start, input, breadth and height. You know 1 by 2 will be represented as what? 0.5. And here I have used star. That means multiplication symbol. All the symbol same way that you are using in a what? Mathematics, and display the area. So this is the simple example, addition of two number and find out the area of triangle. Here in algorithm, you can see start same as here, input in step 2, the process in step 3, and display in step 4, and step 5 is what? Stop. Okay. Any doubt up to this? Anyone? Algorithm and flow chart. We will also see more examples of algorithm and flow chart. So you will be having a clear idea. But this is the simple one. Fine. Okay. Any doubt up to this? Okay, fine, fine. Now, here, this is what? Okay, just average of 3 marks. So start, input, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. Then average means what? Addition of this 3 and divide by 3 and display average. So nothing difficult in this one, right? Okay, done. Any doubt, anyone? And here it's a what? A algorithm for that, right? Algorithm for the same one. So just make a practice of this thing. Okay. Okay, fine. So whatever the remaining examples are there, okay, that we will see in a next lecture. And this is about what? How to use this. Which one? The decision box, how to create a loop. All this we'll see in a next lecture. Fine. Okay, any doubt? Okay, fine. So you may leave now. Okay, thank you.